What's up, guys? This is Demkeys, and welcome to let's call this a mini devlog. Glow and I started, Glow and I decided to work on a really small side project. It's called Fight the Cannons. It's a really simple game. I'll show you the game mechanics in the next clip. Uh, like I mentioned before, it's a really small project. It's a side project. We didn't want to make it way too complicated because we have a main project going on, which is APV1. So we didn't want to take away any time from APV1's development. So yeah, the development on APV1 is still going on. But yeah, this is a small project we decided to work on the side. Uh, with this project, we decided to take a different approach. Like with APV1, we didn't actually start with prototyping, we just jumped right in. Those of you who have watched the vlogs, you know that. With this project, I decided, you know what, let's give prototyping a try. Here's the thing, I have no doubt, I had no doubt that the game mechanics that we were trying to achieve could actually be achieved using Unity. I've worked with Unity long enough to know that such simple game mechanics can actually be achieved with Unity. Um, but I just decided, you know what, let's give prototyping a try. And that was actually a good idea. Here's why. I started working on the prototype, and probably halfway into the development, or three-fourth way into the development, I'm saying halfway and three-fourth way. It's because I'm done with the core game mechanics. I'm done making those game mechanics. So yeah, halfway or three-fourth way into development of the prototype, I was like, you know what? Rather than starting from scratch after this prototype is ready, why not just build on this? Because I mean the game mechanics are already in place. Yeah, I did do really quick and dirty coding because at that time I had it in my mind that yeah, this is a prototype, so I didn't really keep performance in mind. But yeah, I mean now I will be keeping performance in mind. I'm not going to change the old code, but as the need arises, if the old code does start to have an impact on performance, I'll change it then. But as of now, everything seems to be working just fine. I'm not going to explain the game mechanics right now. I'm going to explain it in the next clip when I'm actually showing you the game mechanics. Uh, what more? Glow is working on I don't know if I already mentioned this or not, but Glow is working on the art side. Uh, that's 3D art, 2D art, animations. And he's going to be helping me with audio. Not the background music, but the audio effects, because it's just a few audio effects that we require, which we can actually make. So I figured, you know what, why not give that a try? So yeah, we'll be making the audio effects ourselves. Um, what else? What more do I have to say to introduce? I mean, in the introduction of this project. Yeah, one more thing. You're probably not gonna see this entire dev vlog or this entire series of mini dev vlogs until the game is released. And the reason I decided to do that is not because I'm trying to keep it a secret or anything. It's just that, well, as I mentioned before, this is a side project. It's a really small project. We decided to keep the scale really small. That means that this project is going to be done really quick. We already done with the core game mechanics. Glow is he's a good amount into. Uh, he has already made a lot of progress when it comes to art. So, yeah, from this we know that this project is not going to take a whole lot of time. So just based on that, I decided, you know what, I'll release the vlog once I've released the game. Once we have released the game. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. All right, guys. So I'm gonna record the clip for the vlog a little later. I had to explain something right now because this is just too good to not share with you guys. So um, I figured out a way how to get a random number, or let's say select uh, a random item out of an array, but still give some particular items a higher probability of being selected than others. So technically it's still random, but some items have a higher chance of being selected. Now I'm not gonna write down the entire code over here. I'm gonna explain it in terms of design. So basically I'm giving you the idea and you can implement it in various ways. So let's say you have, and you'll have to excuse me if the camera is a little shaky because uh, I'm actually holding this tripod while it's on whatever table it's kept on. So yeah, let's say you have this array, right? And this array has 4 items. Let's say the array is called A, and you can use uh, random is a class. You can use random. Oh shit, it's going out of the camera. Uh, okay, hold on. Scratch that. I'll just write it a little lower. You can use random.range. Random is it's a class, and range is a method that will take in 2 int values or 2 float values and give you uh, a random int or float in between those 2 values. And that's fine if you just want to select a random item out of this array. So you can use the value of I to access one of these items, right? But what if you want to give some items a higher probability, a higher chance of being selected? In that case, what you can do is for each item, you can have, now again, I'm not giving the code over here, I'm just giving you the idea, but you can have for each item uh, 2 numbers. One is going to be the, let's call it the probability start, and second one will be probability end. So let's say for the first item, I set a probability of 0 to 10. And the max probability that I'm going to be setting is 100. So the first item, I'm going to set it 0 to 10. The second item, 11 to, let's say 70 or 80. No, let's say 70. Third item, 71 to 90. And fourth item, 91 to 100. So I don't know if it's already evident or not, but the first item and the last item, they have a lesser chance of being selected. The second item has a higher chance, and the third item, well, it's somewhere in between. So you can write a method in which you run through this entire array, and each time you check, of course in that method you can create a variable called I, an int variable called I, and use the same thing, random.range, and then the value that you get, you can compare it to see if it is between these 2 numbers or these 2 numbers or these 2 or these 2, and whichever set it is in between, that that cell can be accessed, the corresponding cell can be accessed, and in that way you'll be able to give some items a higher probability because oh yeah, I should have mentioned this, random.range, the value should be between 0 and 100, because as you can see over here, these are the minimum and maximum values that we have. So random.range should be minimum 0 and maximum 100. So using this method, you can actually get you can actually give certain cells a higher chance of being selected compared to other cells. Again, I'm not going to explain this in terms of code. I'm just explaining the idea over here. You can implement this in various ways. If you want to see how this has been implemented, or how I have implemented this, the reason I'm explaining this to you in this vlog is because I've actually implemented this in our project, Fight the Cannons, and I'm going to be releasing the source code, so you guys will be able to see it there. I might show you the code in the clip that I'm going to record next. Maybe not, I'm not sure, because you need to read the entire code in order to understand the way I've implemented it within the game. So maybe I might show it within in the next clip. If not, then I mean, as it is, I'm releasing the source code, so you guys can check it out once I've released the source code. So yeah, just wanted to share this with you. Hope this helps. Alright, what's up guys? This is Demkeys and we are currently on day 7 of the Fight the Cannons project. I have not been able to vlog in the past 2 days, I guess. I mean, since I made the intro video. The only vlog I was able to make was when I was explaining that the probability generator thing. And honestly, the progress on this project is going just way too fast. So there's been, like, even in the last 2 days, there's been a lot of development. As I mentioned before, I'm already done with the core game mechanics. This is, wait, what? Yeah, okay. Just a minute. So this is what the level currently looks like. Of course, the actual level is still being designed. Like, you know, it's going to be a sort of I don't know how to explain it. Not exactly a cave, but a room sort of thing, and it's got rocks and all. The walls will be sort of like deformed rocks and stuff. We are kind of going for again, I'm not sure what to call it. Like some sort of ancient. Oh yeah, let's call it ancient ruins kind of thing. So yeah, this is what you're looking at right now is basically the prototype that I had made, and I just decided to build up on the prototype rather than starting from scratch after, you know, the prototype was successful. So yeah, this is the level. We're gonna have 10 levels in the game, and all of the levels are basically just this level, but with more increased difficulty. So to accomplish that, what I've done is I've created data sets. Data sets over here, it's basically instances of a scriptable object that I've made, and this is why I'm calling it a data set, because it holds all such data, like max HP of the cannon or cannons. All the cannons are gonna have the same HP. So if I set a particular HP over here, all the cannons are gonna have that HP. And then of course there's a minimum shoot rate, max shoot rate, and all the others, like, you know, cannonball probability, power up probability. The first level is going to be really simple. The game has 4 cannonballs. You have a basic cannonball, then electric, ice, and fire. Basic, it just does damage. Electric and ice, they do more damage than basic, but they also stun you. And fire just does a lot of damage. So we are not going to introduce all the cannonballs like right at the beginning. We're going to start with basic and then eventually build up as the difficulty increases. For the power-ups, you have 3 kinds of power-ups. You have HP up, that's basically it's going to increase your HP. You have invincibility, which is going to grant you invincibility for a few seconds. And then you have damage multiplier. This particular cannonball, when you hit it back at the cannons, or when you hit this particular cannonball that has the damage multiplier power-up, when you hit it back at the cannon that shot it, that cannon is going to get maybe double or triple or quadruple the amount of damage that the cannonball actually has. So yeah, you're gonna see all this in the game, so I don't need to be very, I mean, I'm saying I don't need to be very specific, but I've already explained everything. Uh, so yeah, these are the data sets basically. As you can see, I have 10 of these created, and depending on which level is supposed to be loaded, I'm gonna load the appropriate data set, so you're gonna have that amount of difficulty. So that's the reason why I decided to have just one main level, and that level, its difficulty is going to be set based on those data sets. So yeah, what else do I have to show? I guess I can start showing you the gameplay itself. You'll have to excuse me because I've got my camera on a tripod, and this tripod is between me and the laptop. So I'm gonna try my best to demonstrate this. Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my fault. The way I've set it up, you have to start from the title screen, so I'm going to show you from the title scene itself. So this is the title scene. Of course, it's an empty scene right now. I haven't made the title scene yet. It's just going to have like a mesh that shows the name of the game, and it's going to have some sort of environment and all. And it's going to say press so-and-so key to continue. So when you press that key, you're going to be led to the next scene, which is the main menu. And in the main menu, you have the selection for the 10 levels. Initially, 9 of the levels will be locked, and the first level will be unlocked. Let me just make that change right now. I'm using, for those of you who are into programming in Unity, I'm using player prefs to handle, let's say, the save progress of the game. So each time the main menu scene is run, it's first going to read all the keys. It's first going to check for all the keys. All the keys meaning there's one key for each level. So there's going to be 10 keys, and if those 10 keys don't exist, then that basically means that the player is running this game for the first time. So it's going to create all those keys, and the first key, which is the level 1 key, is going to be set to unlock. These are all string type keys, so you can set 2 types of values for them, locked and unlocked, and depending on what the value is of that key, the appropriate level is going to be unlocked. So I've set it up in such a way that I've provided myself with the functionality to delete all the keys. So I'm just going to delete all the keys so it resets, and I'm going to run the game again. So yeah, all the levels are locked except for level 1. It says button here. I'm not done yet. I still have to, of course, even this lock icon, it's just placeholder. I'm not done. I don't even think I'm done with the menu yet. There's still a lot to do aesthetically, or as far as aesthetics is concerned, but I've been working on the basic functionality for it. So yeah, this is the button for level 1. When I click this, level 1 starts. And okay, so as you can see, there's a lot going on over here. This is because I was doing some testing earlier. I needed to set the shoot rate really high for level 1. I'm just going to change that back so it's not so crazy when the level starts. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, there's still a lot going on. It's just not as bad as it was before. The higher shoot rate, basically it's part of increasing the difficulty. So okay, to explain the core game mechanics, these cannons will shoot cannonballs at you, and when you hit a cannonball, there's going to be a swiping motion, like stick swiping or sword swiping, whatever weapon the player is supposed to be holding. That animation is going to play, and it's going to look like the player is actually swiping in that direction. So whichever cannon this cannonball has been shot by, uh, this cannonball is going to go back to that cannon. To do this, I'm just reversing the velocity, so it just goes in the opposite direction. And yeah, once you have destroyed all the cannons in the scene, you win the level. Of course, it looks really basic now. I still have to do the level design. Glow is working on the necessary 3D models, and sorry, since I'm done with core game mechanics. Oh, by the way, this right here, if you pay attention to my mouse cursor, this right here is the HP bar for the player. And again, just for testing purposes, I set the HP insanely high, so no matter what happens, he's not getting damaged right now. So yeah, what was I saying? I'm done with the core game mechanics, so now I'm working on particle effects. Particle effects like, okay, so if you look at either of these cannons, as soon as it shoots, you're going to see a smoke ring. I'm not sure if you're able to see it through the camera or not, but yeah, I think you can see it. So this is a particle effect I worked on recently, the smoke ring. I can very easily get the particle effects from the Unity asset store, but just to challenge myself a little and so that I can learn a little something about particle systems, I decided to make all the particle effects myself. So far we have what, this smoke ring, which is instantiated as soon as a cannonball is shot. Then we are going to have fire, which I'm going to show you shortly. And then some of the cannonballs are going to have trails, like the ice cannonball and the fire cannonball. And for the electric cannonball, I'm trying to create this kind of lightning effect where lightning surrounds the cannonball. But I mean, I'm a noob at particle systems, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna figure that out. But yeah, I mean, there must be some way. Yeah, I guess that's it. Now I can show you the what? Wait, I don't know if I said this in the previous clip where I was explaining the uh, random generator probability thing. I think I had said I'm gonna show a demo of how that's working in this project. By the way, yeah, okay, real quick, I think I forgot to mention this in the intro of the project. This game is gonna be free. We are probably gonna put it up on itch.io. The source code, I'm gonna provide the source code for the game as well. Probably where, like, on the same page where the game is available for download, I'm gonna put a link somewhere there. As I mentioned in the intro, I've done really quick and dirty coding in this, so a lot of the coding, it may seem, not a lot, no, that's not fair. Some of the coding or some of the methods that I've used may seem over the top, or some may seem unnecessary. Some of the code may seem redundant. It might seem like, okay, this code was not really necessary here, but it's still there. Why? It's just because I was doing the code in a hurry. I was hurrying up with the code because I was in a hurry to get those game mechanics running. So yeah, I just haven't changed that code. And as I mentioned before, I haven't felt the need to change the code. So if it is affecting performance, yeah, then I might change the code. But it doesn't seem like it's, gonna affect the performance that much. This isn't a very heavy game. So what else? You probably already know this. Glow is working on the art side of the project, and he's also going to be helping me out with the audio effects. I think I've already said this. And yeah, we both have worked on the game design of the game together. So yeah, okay, yeah. I told you I'm going to show you the random probability generation thing. So so far you have seen in level 1 just basic cannonballs, right? So I'm gonna just pay attention to the right side over here where my mouse is. I'm gonna increase this cannonball probability class. This is one of the ways that I've implemented uh, the probability generator mechanic. Uh, I've got this array of cannonballs. It has the only 4 cannonballs that exist in the game. That's basic, electric, ice, and fire. And what I'm gonna do is currently, like earlier, my hand came in the camera. Earlier, the size was set to 1, so there's only one element, and its start is 0 and end is 100, which is max. So pretty much any random number that comes up between these two numbers is going to mean that the first item from this array is going to be used. So I'm going to just increase this, and now I have 2 elements here. So I'm going to set the probability for the first element to from 0 to, let's say, 80, and for the second element 80 to 100. So what's going to happen now is every time a random number will be generated, and the game is going to check if, or the code is going to check if that random number is between 0 and 0 and 80, or is it between 81 and 100. I'm not doing these checks manually. This is all happening in a for loop, so I don't actually have to manually enter these numbers in the if condition. But yeah, is this for level 1? I think so. Yeah. So now when I run the game, you're going to see basic cannonballs, but at the same time you'll also see these cyan colored cannonballs. These are the electric cannonballs. So yeah, this is how you can make sure that some items, even though it's a randomly generated, even though they're all randomly generated, you can still give some items a higher chance of being generated than others. So what else? I guess now I can show you. I'm sorry if this seems like a big mess. I should have recorded the clips earlier, but I didn't get the chance, and the progress didn't stop. It just kept on going and going and going, and it's only been like, I think we are currently on day 7, and we're already done with like a big portion of the game. So yeah, we are in a test scene that I've created. You currently can't see, but we are going to go inside this room, and there's one light over here. This scene has been baked. I guess you call it light map baked. Light mapping has been done in this scene. I've set these walls to light map static. So basically you have the whole global illumination thing going on over here. So I'm not going to switch off, I'm not going to disable this this light. That light wasn't actually supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be using the particle system, but I don't want to turn off the light, because the moment I turn off the light, the scene's going to start baking again. Maybe I can turn that feature off. Hold on. Yeah, forgot about this. Okay, so yeah, I can switch off this. Yeah, okay, so I can switch off the light, and this right here is the particle system. This is the fire particle system that I've been working on. It's not for the fireball. It's for it's not for the fire cannonball. It's for some of the props that we're going to be having in the scene. But here's the thing: you can see this sort of lighting going on. I'm not entirely sure if I want this in the final game or not, because I'm not sure how performance intensive it's going to be, how badly it's going to affect performance. If I remove, oh, by the way, this lighting thing, I'm doing it through the lights module in the particle system. So in case any of you are wondering, if I turn this off, this is what the actual particle system looks like. And honestly, this isn't that bad. I can use this and I can just have like a point light in between it to show some sort of illumination. I don't necessarily need to have where is that? Yeah, I don't necessarily need to have this, but again, I'm gonna see if the performance trade-off is like way too high. I'll just turn off the lights module. It's not an issue. But yeah, this is it's not actually going to be a bonfire in the final game. The fire is going to be in a bowl, and the bowl is going to be like attached to a wall or something like that. We're going to have maybe 4 or 6 of these in the scene in total. So keeping that in mind, I have to see. I want to see if I'm going to use the lights module or just have a point light on it. This doesn't look bad though. I mean, you see the kind of effect that you're getting from this. But again, I'll see, because yeah. So yeah, this is the particle system that I'm currently working on. I still have a few more to work on, and I think that's it. Yeah, I've switched off that light so you can see over here. This is what it looks like from that corner of the room. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it for this clip. If I remember anything more, then I'll switch on the camera again. Yeah, I've been working on terrain as well, because we don't necessarily want to have like a flat ground. We want to have like sand mounds and stuff like that. Let me turn on the light again. So yeah, I've been messing around with that and using the sand texture that's provided by default in Unity. Again, about the particle systems, I could have just used, like, very easily, I could have used the one that's provided in Unity's standard assets. If anything, that might be better than anything that I might be making. But honestly, I just wanted to try and make it myself, so that's why I'm making all the particle systems myself. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so real quick, I want to show something that I forgot to show earlier. We also have spike pads that will be falling from the top. You're gonna have, currently there's single ones falling, there's single pads falling. At some point we might make it double, maybe triple, and in the last level we plan to have a sort of different pattern. Like in this case, you have one that's falling, and then there's, okay, so this is a 3x3 grid, so that's 9 spaces where you can move. So if you have a pad falling on one space, you have 8 other spaces where you can move, right? So in the last level, or maybe in the 9th and the 10th level, we are gonna have 8 pads falling, so there's only one space where you can stand. So we figured that might add, an extra layer of difficulty or level of difficulty, whatever you want to call it. Also, I want to mention the code. Now, usually while it is, wait, now, usually I do comment all of my code, because usually when I'm working on a project, if the project is a little big, I tend to work on a lot of systems, and so I need to, well, when I say work on systems, I mean I tend to create a lot of systems, and so in order to be able to remember that functionality, I need to put comments, so that, like, maybe 1 week later, if I come and look at this code, I'm not like, what the hell, what is this code doing? So that's why I add comments, and also so that if anyone else is reading the code, then they'll be able to understand a little more easily what's going on in the code. However, in this case, I haven't added comments yet. Eventually, when I do have the time, I'm going to add comments to as much of the code as possible. So yeah, because I mean, I'm going to be sharing the source code, so it's definitely a good idea to add comments in the code, so people will know what code does what. Yeah, that's it.